Today I'm going to be making a delicious quinoa salad. Now this is considered an E meal on Trim Healthy Mama, which means it stands for energy. So it's going to have a little bit more in the way of carbs instead of fat. So I pre-made my quinoa early this morning, so I had time to let it cool. I did it in the Instapot. It was so simple. It only took 1 minute. And then you kind of let it cool down on its own, and I've just left it cooling so I can make it into a salad. Now this is a crunchy, delicious salad you're gonna really love, so I hope you'll give it a try. Now this isn't your typical quinoa dish. This is gonna have all kinds of crunchy and delicious flavors in it. It's gonna have that sweet and kind of vinegary taste. This is going to be a delicious salad. So let me show you how we make it. I'm going to be making it in my big metal stainless steel pan, and then we'll put it in another container as soon as we're done. So I'm going to start off by adding 2 cups of my cooked quinoa to the bowl. And this was 2 cups. It actually makes a lot more after it expands. And if you've never had quinoa, it's just really delicious, and it adds a lot of that pasta flavor taste to whatever it is you're cooking without actually eating pasta. So to that, we're going to be adding a few other ingredients. We're going to start off by adding some shredded red cabbage. So here's 1 cup, and I'm going to add another cup. I usually buy a red cabbage and shred it myself, but believe it or not, I could not find one in the grocery store. So they had lots of green ones, but anyway, this will work out fine. The problem with the shredded one they do in the store is that sometimes you get these gigantic pieces of cabbage. So anyway, these look pretty good. I'm not gonna worry about any of that. Then we're going to be adding some celery to this, and to this we're actually going to be adding a cup of chopped sweet onion and 1 1/4 cups of celery. So while I've got my celery out, I'm going to go ahead and cut up all my celery, clean it and cut it because I've got quite a bit of it, but this makes a nice snack for throughout the week. I've actually got quite a bit of chopping to do for this salad, so I'm going to be using my Vidalia onion chopper. So I'm going to go ahead and put my celery in here. I like to use my chopper because it just saves a ton of work. As you can see, just makes the job really easy. I need to measure this because I'm not quite sure how much that's going to be. So that's 1 1/4 cups of celery. Probably take all this. So there's 1 cup. And I'd say that's about 1/4. I'm just going to add the rest. So you're going to add 1 cup of diced peppers. You can use green, red, and yellow. I've actually got a red pepper and some green peppers. And I want to save some of this red pepper for my salads. So I'm not going to use all the red pepper up, but I am going to put a little bit in. Probably use all the green pepper. Now I think I'll go ahead and chop all the green and red peppers up because I can use the rest of whatever I don't have here between my salads and my eggs. And I just like to run my knife through it, make it a little bit smaller pieces to go through the chopper. So we got all of our peppers chopped up. So I'm going to take 1 cup of the red and the green. So I think I'll just do half and half. And then I'll save the rest for my eggs or salads or what have you. Now we're going to cut up some tomatoes. 1 1/2 cups of tomatoes. I want to save the rest of my tomatoes for some salads So I'm just gonna use a cup of tomatoes. I've got a beautiful onion that's already pre-cut, so I'm gonna just take a cup of these onions, pour them in here. We're gonna take 3 cloves of garlic. So you can chop up your garlic. I really prefer my garlic minced. So I'm gonna go ahead and mince this in a garlic press. I don't want to get any, since it's raw especially, I don't want any big bites of garlic. All right. There we go. I'm going to add this to my bowl. Lots of good stuff in here. I'm going to be adding 1 can of whole kernel corn drained. And then I'm going to also be adding some black beans. And I want to add 2 cups of cooked black beans. To this, I'm going to be adding 1/4 of a cup of fresh cilantro. Now, when I use cilantro, after I wash it, I always press it between my hands to release the oils. It just gives it just a wonderful scent and flavor. And in the next month or 2, I'm going to be planting cilantro, so I get quite a bit throughout the spring, and nothing like the fresh cilantro. There's absolutely nothing like it. And then I'm going to be adding a chopped jalapeno. So I need to put a glove on my left hand just so that, you know, these were really hot jalapenos. So I did have a subscriber write to me recently and ask me why I wear the gloves. So I wear them, you know, for a couple of things. First of all, I always wear them when I cut any kind of hot peppers. I've just learned that if I don't, and then I go out and, you know, rub my eye or something, I'm going to be in major pain for like, you know, a day or 2. So I'm just careful about hot peppers. And the other thing is, I really don't like handling like hamburger and especially chicken. I don't like handling raw chicken. So it's just a kind of a pet peeve of mine, I guess. It's not really anything. I mean, I eat all of the food that I make, but you know, it's just those couple things I'm kind of picky about. And I love to eat chicken and beef and turkey and all that stuff, but I don't like handling it. So I'm not going to put this through my chopper. I want these jalapenos chopped really fine. So I put this glove on with my hand wet, and just got to be careful I don't chop through the glove or something. All right. So I want these nice and small pieces, so I'm going to just chop these by hand. All right, let me check my ingredients. I think it's time to make the sauce. Okay, so now we're going to start making our herb sauce. So we're going to start off by putting a little bit of salt in. This recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons. And I just use a nice mineral salt, a nice pink Himalayan sea salt. And then to that, I'm going to be adding some ground pepper. Now you put in however much it is that you like. This recipe calls for about a teaspoon. So I'm going to put quite a bit of pepper in because this is a huge batch. And honestly, I love pepper. All right. Now, although the recipe doesn't call for it, I'm going to put a little bit of dill in here. I have some dill from my garden last year. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon, a full teaspoon of dill, because I love the flavor of dill. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit of, now the recipe calls for something called simple sweet. If you like, you know, stevia, if you like monk fruit sweetener, whatever it is you like, this is actually erythritol. So this is going to call for a couple of tablespoons of a non-sugar sweetener. So I'm going to put in a tablespoon of this swerve. And then I'm going to put a tablespoon of monk fruit sweetener in. So I'm going to have just a little bit of both. So there's one of the swerve and one of the monk fruit. Now this is one of those things, as long as it doesn't add any other calories or that kind of thing, you put in as much of the herbs and things as you like. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in some olive oil. If you prefer grapeseed oil or avocado oil, you choose your oil. I'm gonna put in some extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons. And then I'm also going to be putting in some apple cider vinegar. And this is apple cider vinegar that I made off of my trees, and it is extremely good. Oh, doesn't even smell like vinegar hardly. It's just got a wonderful flavor. To this, we're actually gonna be adding quite a bit of vinegar. We're gonna be putting in 2/3 of a cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure that out. Just like that. Add it to our mix. Give that a stir. Boy, that smells so good. Oh boy. This is gonna be delicious. If you've never had a quinoa salad, you're gonna love this. Just gonna use a little whisk. We're gonna bring this over our beautiful salad. And we're gonna add all of our sauce right over the top. Everything, I think that's what I like about this Trim Healthy Mama so much. It's just got so many great recipes that are just so fresh and just so many wonderful flavors. And I'm somebody, I've gardened most of my life, so I've always had a big vegetable garden, lots of fruit trees, things like that. And I love fresh, any kind of fresh vegetables or anything like this. So there you go. Now I'm gonna do a sample test just to see if I need any more sugar and just to let you know how it came out. All right, let's give it a try. Ooh, yum. Oh, that is so good. Delicious. I could eat this every single day, and I may. It's so good. So 2 tablespoons of the sweetener, more than enough. That apple cider vinegar, this is homemade from the Fuji apples off of my tree. So good. I'd give this an A+. So if you're looking for the perfect complement to your salad, this is a e-meal on Trim Healthy Mama, quinoa salad. Give it a try. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love serving it to your friends and family. Everybody's gonna love it. So thank you for watching today. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring the bell for future notifications. And I'll see you next time. Bye.